Namaskar, Vanakkam, Namaskaram, hello. A North Indian here, or rather, an Indian from the North. One who has lived, learned, and loved across both North and South. I have danced to Diler Mehndi at weddings, and I cried to Ilayaraja on rainy nights. I have grown up hearing that South India are too proud and North Indians are too arrogant. And honestly, it breaks my heart, because I have seen the beauty in both, and the pain in this divide. So today, I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to blame. I'm here with folded hands, asking one thing. Can we stop fighting? Can we finally understand each other? Because if we don't end this hate, who will? If we not now, then when? Let's go beyond memes, beyond stereotypes, beyond slogans. Let's talk, not as North and South, but as brothers and sisters, as citizens of one deeply misunderstood country. But before we dive into what's being said, can I ask you something? When did we stop being curious and started assuming the worst of each other? Why do we believe the loudest rumors and ignore the quietest truths? You say we come here to steal jobs, speak only Hindi and disrespect your culture. But have you ever asked why we come here in the first place? This hatred, maybe it's not cultural, but carefully planted. North versus South sells votes, TRPs, chaos, not unity. Over time, the propaganda feels like truth, and we start believing myths about each other. Let's not fight on Twitter. Let's talk Indian to Indian. And let's start with the biggest trigger of all. They want to force Hindi on us. We come here to speak only Hindi, steal our jobs, and refuse to learn our language. That's anger, right? But who are they, really? You might picture a Hindi speaking techie who doesn't care to blend in. But most North Indians who come to South aren't in AC offices. They're outside, building those offices, delivering your food, cleaning your streets. A 2022 labor report says over 70% of North Indians migrant in southern metro work in low-income manual jobs, construction, sanitation, delivery, not coders, not CEOs. Because it isn't ambition, it's survival. And what about the language? Let's clear a myth. Most North Indians don't speak standard Hindi at home. They speak Bhojpuri, Maithili, Magahi, Avdi, Haryanvi, rich dialects you'll never hear on a TV debate. For many of us, Hindi isn't a symbol of dominance. It's the only rope we have left to hold on to. We didn't come here to conquer. Came because our homes had nothing left to give. We speak Hindi not to erase our identity, but to salvage our own. And maybe the real question isn't why are they here, but rather what made them leave everything behind. And that brings us to the next fear. They don't respect our culture. Respect is a big word. You see someone ignore your festivals, mispronounce your food, skip your language, and it feels insulting. Like they just don't care. But what if it's not ego? Just exhaustion. A lot of migrants aren't choosing ignorance. They are stuck in a cycle where there's no time to learn. They're working double shifts, sleeping in shared rooms, sending money home. Learning Kannada or Tamil isn't about attitude, it's about access, time and energy. And when you're fighting for basic survival, culture sadly takes a backseat. But of course, exposure also means seeing who holds the power, who gets to decide the policies, who sits in Delhi, and who just funds the system. And this leads us to another deep resentment. We pay most of the taxes, but the center fills the North's pocket. It's one of the deepest resentments in the South. We generate the revenue, but they make the decisions. We build the economy, but they run the parliament. And honestly, that frustration isn't baseless. Let's look at the reality. For every 1 rupee Tamil Nadu gives to the center, it gets back around 30 paisas. Meanwhile, for every 1 rupee Bihar gives, it gets 6 rupees back. Kerala gives 1 rupees and gets back just 25 paisas. Uttar Pradesh, on the other hand, gives 1 rupee but gets back 2 rupees and 73 paisas back. Now, if you look, this system of redistribution, it's not evil in itself. In a family, the stronger ones often support the weaker ones. That's what makes us a nation. But here's the problem. The money doesn't always reach the people it's meant for. It gets eaten up by middlemen, by corrupt leaders, and by broken systems. Here's what Rajiv Gandhi said. Out of every rupee spent by the government, only 15 paisa reaches the poor. And the result? The states that perform well feel punished, while the states that get help stay stuck. Why? Because politicians don't want solutions. They want money, votes, and more money. And that hunger, it's what gave birth to movements, to ideologies, to people who said enough. Which brings us to the next myth. Dravidian ideology is anti-national. This is full of fellow North Indians who have been told that Dravidian ideology is anti-national. You've heard the lines. Dravidian ideology is anti-India, divides the country. But pause and ask, why did it even begin? Here's the reality. Dravidian ideology didn't rise out of rebellion against India. It rose out of being ignored within it. It began when Brahminical dominance in Tamil Nadu controlled temples, education, and opportunity. When Delhi felt far away and Hindi felt imposed, when names like Elaraman and Perumal were mocked, while Sanskritized names were glorified. That's when people in Tamil Nadu quietly asked, why are we always made to feel small? That's when parents began teaching pride in Tamil identity, in dark skin, in native food, in language and self-respect. That's when a generation declared, Dravidian doesn't mean anti-national, it means we matter too. And isn't that a familiar cry across India? Ambedkar said it in Maharashtra, Lohiya said it in Uttar Pradesh, and Mayawati said it in Hindi heartland. The truth is, every corner of India has, at some point, stood up and said, don't see us? Well, now you must. Maybe the South said it through cinema and street protest, with the North said it through ballots and pamphlets, but beneath it all, the message was one. We want dignity, not charity. We want to be equals, not afterthoughts. Before we call each other anti-national, maybe we need to understand each other first, because sometimes what feels like attitude is just someone tired of being ignored. Let's talk about what comes after understanding how we turn empathy into action and stories into solutions. Because this divide won't close on its own, we have to build the bridge together. The leaders who were meant to guide us have misled us. The ones who were supposed to unite this country have fed it poison, for votes, for powers, and for money. They have turned us against each other, North versus South, Hindi versus Tamil, us versus them. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be this way, because if the politicians won't heal this nation, then maybe we, the people, must. Not just the South, not just the North, but both. Brothers and sisters, neighbors and friends, it's on us now. To defy the script that's been written for us. Unlearn the hate we have been handed. To look beyond the headlines and actually speak to one another. So, how do we begin? How do we turn this feeling, this urge to connect, to heal into something real? Because unity can't just be a feeling, it has to be a practice. And if we are serious about defying this divide, here are a few simple and powerful things we can start doing today. First is to stop letting politicians profit from our division. They use language, caste, and religion as tools, not causes. Every election cycle they stir the pot. They don't respect your language, they want to break India, vote to save your identity. But the truth is, division is profitable for them, not for us. Next time someone says they're destroying your culture, ask, are they really protecting your identity or just farming your anger for votes? Second is to learn the local language when you work away from home. This is important. Respect starts with effort. If you are in Karnataka, learn a few lines of Kannada. If you are posted in Bihar, pick up some Bhojpuri. Not to impress but to integrate. And institutions must lead by example. Government and companies should mandate basic language and culture workshops for employees relocating to other regions, whether it's a Kannadiga posted in Lucknow or a Bihari working in Chennai. These shouldn't be token gestures but real, immersive efforts, from local phrases to cultural etiquette. Because when you try to speak someone's language, you're not just communicating, you're connecting. Third is to be curious, not defensive. Visit a Tamil temple. Read about Marathas and Cholas. Read about the Mughals and the Cheras. One identity doesn't cancel another, it completes it. India isn't a uniform. It's a patchwork quilt, and every patch matters. Fourth is to call out stereotypes even in jokes. The idli sambar jokes, the Lalu accent, the casual ye South Indians or ye UP wale, these aren't jokes. They are scars disguised as punchlines, and every time we laugh, we deepen the divide. So next time your colleague cracks a stereotypical joke, correct them, kindly but firmly. If you see an auto driver mocking a tourist or migrant for their language, don't look away. Step in, interrupt the cycle. Remind them, India speaks many tongues, and they all deserve respect. Silence protects stereotypes, courage breaks them. Fifth is to build small habits that break big walls. The divide isn't always in speeches, sometimes it's in the lunch tables of colleges, the language we avoid, the greetings we skip, and the assumptions we carry. Let's talk about college life. In most campuses, you will find two separate groups. The South Indians hang with the South Indians and the North Indians stick to their own. Now, if we can't fix this in our colleges, the very places meant to shape our minds, how do we expect it to be fixed in the parliament? Start small. Attend each other's festivals, taste each other's foods, ask questions not to judge but to learn. Introduce a friend to a regional song, dance or a movie that shaped your childhood. These aren't big revolutions, but they are daily rebellions against ignorance for understanding. I am from the north, you are from the south, but we have been both misunderstood. Maybe it's time we understand each other better, not just in elections but in everyday actions. Before north or south, there was just India. There's a reason we cry when we hear the national anthem. Why our hands rise instinctively for a salute when we see an Indian Army soldier, the tricolor flutter in the wind. Because deep inside, every Indian, north or south, carries a memory of something bigger than language, food, or politics. We're the land where the Cholas ruled the seas and sent emissaries to Southeast Asia. The Mauryas united kingdoms without modern tech or highways. The Bhagavad Gita and the Tirukural were written centuries apart, yet echo the same moral spine. Rani Lakshmibai fought the British from Jhansi, while Veru Nachiyar did it decades earlier from Tamil Nadu. India won the independence, did it come from Delhi alone? When ISRO put Chandrayaan into the moon, did it matter where the scientist was on Patna or Puducherry? You have felt it during a cricket match, a Republic Day parade, a space launch, a soldier's farewell. That lump in your throat, that shiver down your spine, that's not from the north or the south, that's from India. So before you call someone a Madrasi or a Mallu, pause. We have built too much together, we have bled too much together. To fall apart now, after centuries of building the impossible, would be the greatest betrayal of what it means to be Indian. Even if one myth broke for you today, don't let this video just end. Talk, share, unlearn, and act. Let's clear the air, not the map.